This is Appolo 1. If you didn't see part 1, go check it out in the main channel. Accident. Plug out test. The launch simulation on January 27th, 1967 on pad 34 was a plug out test determined whether the spacecraft would operate nominally on internal power while detached from all cables and umbilicals. Passing this test was essential to making the February 21st launch date. The test was considered non-hazardous because neither the launch vehicle nor the spacecraft was loaded with fuel or cryogenics, and a pyrotechnic system exploding bolts was disabled. At 1 p.m. on January 27th, first Grissom, then Chaffee and White entered the command module fully pressure-suited and were strapped into their seats and hooked up to the spacecraft's oxygen and communication systems. Grissom immediately noticed a strange odor in the air, circulating through his suit, which he compared to sour buttermilk, and the simulated countdown was put hold at 1:20 p.m. While air samples were taken, the odor cause was not found, and the countdown was resumed at 2 p.m. 42. The accident investigation found this odor to be related to fire. 3 minutes after the count was resumed, the hatch installation was started. The hatch consisted of 3 parts: a removable inner hatch, which stays inside the cabin, a hidden outer hatch, which was a part of the spacecraft heat shield, and the outer hatch cover, which was part of boost protective cover employing the entire command module to protect it from aerodynamic heating during launch and from launch escape rocket exhaust. In the event of a launch abort, the boost hatch cover was partially, but not fully, latched in place because the flexible boost protective cover was slightly distorted by some coupling run under it to provide the simulated internal power. After the hatches were sealed, the air in the cabin was replaced with pure oxygen at 16.7 psi or 115 kPa or 2 psi or 14 kPa higher than atmospheric pressure. Movement by the astronauts was detected by the spacecraft internal measurement unit, and the astronaut biomedical sensors, and also indicated by increasing the oxygen spacesuit flow and sound from Grisham's stock open microphone. The stock microphone was part of a problem with the communications loop connecting the crew, the operations, and checkout building. This is the Neil Armstrong operation and checkout building. And the complex 34 blockhouse control room. The poor communications led Grisham remark, "How are we going to get to the moon if we can talk between 2 or 3 buildings?" Yes, I heard of that. And they died. Yep, they died. It's actually sad. They're only about level 30. Okay, the simulated countdown was put on hold again at 5 p.m. 40. While attempts were made to troubleshoot the communication problem, all countdown functions up to the simulated internal power transfer had been successfully completed by 6 p.m. 20, and at 6:30 p.m. the count remained on hold at T-minus 10 minutes. Fire. Okay, let's go. Fire. The last one that we're gonna talk today. The crew members really used the time to run through their checklist again, while the momentary decrease in AC bus till voltage occurred. 9 seconds later, at 6:31 for 6 p.m. 31 minutes 4 seconds and 7 milliseconds. One of the astronauts exclaimed, "Hey, fire or flame!" This was followed by 2 seconds of suffering sounds through Grisham's open microphone. This was immediately followed at 6 p.m. 31 minutes 6 seconds and 2 milliseconds. This is our Thailand. This is Thailand. By someone saying, "I've or we got a fire cockpit." After 6.8 seconds of silence, a second badly crashed transmission was heard by various listeners who believe this transmission was made by Shafi, as "They're fighting a bad fire. Let's get out. Open her up. We got a bad fire. Let's get out. We're burning up. Or I'm reporting fire. I'm getting out." The transmission lasted 5 seconds and ended with a cry of pain. Okay, guys, let's just.
Now we gotta get the moon. We can't talk between 2 or 3 buildings.
Okay, sorry.
Now we gotta get the moon. We can't talk between 2 or 3 buildings. Can you read it? Bad leader? Can you get him out of this?
Some blockhouse witness said that they saw white on television monitors reaching for the inner hatch release handle, and flames in the cabin spread from left to right. The heat of the fed by poor oxygen causes the pressure to rise to 29 psi or 200 kPa. That is so. It is very, 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 very hot. Yup, yes. Only this 200. Very hot. We cannot survive. Which erupted the command module interval at 6 p.m. 31 minutes and 19 seconds. Flames and gases that rushed outside the command module through open access panel to two levels of the pad service structure. The intense heat, then smoke, and ineffective mask designed for toxic fumes rather than smoke hampered the ground. Crews attempted to rescue the men. There were fears the command module had exploded or soon would, and that the fire might ignite the solid fuel rocket in the launch escape tower above the command module, which would have likely killed nearby ground personnel and possibly has destroyed the pad. Yes, and that is insane. As the pressure was released by the cabin rupture, the cabin rupture, the rush of gases within the module causes flames to spread around the cabin, beginning the second phase. The third phase begins when most of the oxygen was consumed and replaced with atmosphere air, essentially quenching the fire but causing high concentrations of carbon monoxide and heavy smoke to fill the cabin, and large amount of silt to be deposited on surfaces as they cool. It took 5 minutes for the pad workers to open all 3 hatch layers, and they could not drop the inner hatch to the cabin floor as intended. So they pushed it out of the way to one side, although the cabin lights remaining on. They were unable to see the astronaut though. The dense smoke, as the smoke cleared, they found the bodies, but they were not able to remove them. The fire had partly melted Grissom and white neon spacesuit, and the hoses connected them to the life support system. Grissom has removed his wristband and was lying on the floor of the spacecraft. White's wristbands were burned though, and he was found lying sideways, just below the hatch. It was determined that he had tried to open the hatch per emergency produced, but not able to do against internal pressure. Shafi was trapped into his right-hand seat, as production called him to maintain communication until White opened the hatch. Because of the large strands of melted nylon, fusing introducing the astronauts to the cabin interior, removing the bodies took nearly 90 minutes. Okay, sorry. My whatever just fell. The bodies were only able to be removed after 7.5 hours from the time the accident took place due to the gas and toxins present, which prevented medical personnel from entering internally. It's 11. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I will drink water. Dicky Stalin was possibly the first NASA official to examine the spacecraft interior. What is this? 24. What is this? 24, 25. Yeah. Okay. His testimony constructing the official report concerning the position of Grissom's body. Selection is said of Grissom and White's body. It is very difficult for me to determine the exact relationship of these two bodies. They were sort of jumbled together, and I couldn't really tell which had even belonged to which body at this point. I guess the only thing that was real obvious that is that both bodies were at the lower edge of the hatch. They were not in the seats. They were almost completely clear of the seat areas. Okay, this will be part 3. Okay, investigation will be part 3. Got, okay. Okay, guys. Oh, why is so laggy? If you don't subscribe, please subscribe, like, follow, and share for more. Peace! Oh, okay.